Detroit's public schools have since 1842 fulfilled our need for educated, thoughtful, healthy members of the community. Some schools built long ago are still performing their vital work. But as our town grows, the older schools make way for new facilities designed to serve present-day needs more efficiently. The new and the old, a blend of tradition and progress, give our schools a vital outlook on the future. Though public education has changed a great deal since the Detroit Board of Education opened its first school more than a century ago, the basic 3 R's are still there. From the first wondrous day of kindergarten, school is the same unique experience it's always been. As Detroit boys and girls progress from kindergarten into elementary classes, the taste for learning becomes sharper. The first words set down on paper are a big step. Followed quickly by reading, the thrill of recognizing words on a printed page, identifying them with actual objects. The words take on more and more meaning and begin to have a relationship with other words. Each day at school is a new experience. The student's hours are spent in the discovery of the things about him, in the discovery of himself. The world of mathematics becomes a high adventure, the right answer, an exciting victory. The more complex the problem, the greater the challenge. Entering the higher grades, Detroit public school children are given the opportunity to explore wider areas of learning. And as the fiber of a modern world changes, our school programs broaden to develop every capability, every talent of the Detroit youngster. But our schools grow in other directions too. They grow physically to take care of greater enrollments and the movement of people to the suburbs. Detroit schools are also expanding their horizons, taking into consideration the special needs of every junior citizen, keeping in mind their responsibility to serve the community and the nation through well-rounded education. Modern education considers the whole person, the mind and body functioning well together, healthy and pliable. That is the goal of Detroit schools. Intensive, well-planned physical training receives as much attention as classroom work. By keeping the body fit and strong against illness, physical exercise aids in learning. Coordination, vigor and stamina keeping the mind clear and alert for the serious business of acquiring knowledge in a host of subjects covered in the Detroit public schools. Broad programs extend to every need of our growing city. Trade skills, so important to our world-famed industrial community, come in for heavy emphasis. Young men following industrial courses, learning how to operate complex machine tools, will someday enter the ranks of skilled labor in Detroit. They'll forge the quality products for which our town is known the world over. They'll help improve living conditions for people everywhere. Detroit schools work more and more toward preparing students to assume responsibility in commerce and the business world. Classes in retailing have become a popular segment of the high school curriculum. Instructors with broad experience in the sales field offer their knowledge to young men and women who will one day staff, perhaps even own, the stores and shops of Detroit. Classes are interesting. Demonstrations cover every phase of retailing, using the actual equipment found in every sort of store. Private business helps the teacher, informing her of new methods, so that her pupils will be prepared to take over their duties with a minimum of training, armed with a knowledge of the very latest techniques. Business courses follow the procedures used in modern administrative offices. Typing, so important to efficient business operations, is offered in all our high schools, teachers transferring their keyboard mastery to enthusiastic students. A wide range of other business courses are taught. Bookkeeping, shorthand, necessary mathematics, all leading to a good job after graduation, or preparing future accountants, secretaries, office managers, and executives for 4 more years of intensive study at college level. Thorough education, the development of the whole person, goes far beyond the acquisition of practical knowledge. Creative desires must be satisfied too. The boy or girl must be encouraged to express his thoughts, feelings, emotions through native talents. A brush stroke on canvas can be vital to a youngster's enjoyment of life. In association with the Detroit Institute of Arts, our Board of Education conducts a unique art program for school children of all ages. In addition to regular classwork at schools throughout the city, the students attend classes at the Institute to learn about art through the ages, to see for themselves the works of great masters. The young people have a chance to test their own talents by copying paintings and sculpture in the museum. It's good practice, teaching them technique and form. Impressions are made here too, the young artist following the lead of recognized professionals in developing a style of his own. For many of these talented boys and girls, art means more than a hobby. Someday they may seek careers in the world of art, hoping to have their own work displayed in galleries and museums for all to see. Fledgling talents of today may one day illustrate the magazines we read, design the homes we live in. But professional or amateur, our schools will have helped them achieve artistic satisfaction. Music, too, is stressed in Detroit public schools. Instructors are alert to the needs and abilities of their students. The study of musical instruments is seasoned with fascinating excursions into the realm of orchestral and bank playing. Boys and girls working together to produce fine music. One of man's most treasured gifts, an avocation to be enjoyed all through life. Music makes the world a better place in which to live for everyone. Perhaps the most striking example of the effect of modern living on our school system is the unique off-street driver training area at Mumford High School, where every driving condition is simulated away from the heavy traffic of city streets. With a growing number of drivers taking to the road every day, the driver training program makes sure that many of them are good drivers. Good driving habits are learned right from the start. A respect for traffic laws is instilled. And most important of all, techniques learned here assure improved safety on our streets and highways. The carefully supervised instruction keeps in mind the fun of driving, actually enhancing the driver's pleasure by teaching him to do the right thing. A problem with many new drivers, and many experts too, is parking. But with patient explanation of the right way, it becomes the simplest and safest thing in the world. The training area saves nicked fenders by using poles instead of cars to mark the parking space. The area's original off-street design gives students a chance to practice unhindered by passing motorists. Its modern concept allows the Board of Education to certify nearly 900 expert new drivers a year, as compared to an average of slightly over 100 yearly graduates of conventional driver training programs. Besides behind-the-wheel practice, each student receives 32 hours of classroom work in simple mechanics, driver responsibility, and traffic regulations. Because several young drivers practice in the area at one time, the instructor guides them through their lessons with the aid of a loudspeaker. Through one of the best driver training programs in America, the Detroit Board of Education is making sure that our teenage motorists bring intelligence, responsibility, and safety to the highways. The tools of instruction grow in range every year, with TV heading the list of teaching aids. The transmitter of WTVS symbolizes education at its very newest. Sponsored by the Detroit Educational TV Foundation, WTVS is an important milestone in the growth of our schools. Its programs are actually classrooms of the air, teachers and technicians combining their talents to offer modern instruction to students of all ages. Detroit and 9 other American cities are united in this bold experiment to improve teaching techniques. From their pioneering work may come the electronic classroom of tomorrow. The object of this amazing TV teaching experiment is not to save teachers, but rather to save vital time so that teachers can devote themselves to a wider range of activity with their students. With television offering the means for large-scale uniform instruction, teachers will be able to take a greater personal interest in each student, or time unhindered by classroom detail. Television also offers standards of presentation never before possible. Graphic illustration of every subject, imaginative demonstrations help make every lecture a fascinating experience. Careful record is being kept of both the positive and negative results of the experiment. Though the technique is in its infancy, it promises to open up entirely new avenues of learning. And Detroit's participation in this trial and error phase gives us an important role to play in modern education. Educational TV goes beyond the teaching of young people. Adults, too, will benefit from courses designed specifically for their needs. The job of adult education will be eased by bringing knowledge right into Detroit homes. Channel 56. An experiment now, but in years to come, a strong, effective educational tool. Its transmitting tower, reaching high into the Detroit sky, is a vanguard in our plan for a better community, a big step forward in our most important community service. Joining hands with the wonder of electronics, the Detroit Board of Education will continue its traditionally high level of achievement in keeping with our town's continued progress in every area. Detroit, 5th largest American city, industrial capital of the world, a commercial center of far-reaching influence. Our name is known in every corner of the earth, yet we're young as cities go. The river that flows by our door, carrying more traffic than any other inland waterway in the world, was an avenue through the wilderness less than 3 centuries ago. In the short span of time since Cadillac landed on the shores of the Detroit River, we've become the world's largest producer of automobiles, spawning a host of other thriving industries and businesses that feed and nourish the automobile plants. The prosperity of our industry has given us the time and means to grow culturally too. Our accomplishments in the arts and education are as well known as our technology. But diversification of interest and activity is the key to Detroit's success. Beyond our fame as the Motor City, we're a world leader in home appliances, business machines, pharmaceuticals, and Detroit is the home of one of the nation's oldest and largest insurance companies. Any story of the development of Detroit must also be the story of the Standard Accident Insurance Company. In business a quarter century before the automobile industry was born. And any story of Standard Accident must also be the story of its people, those in the Detroit home office and those who represent it in the field. A kind of busman's holiday begins the story. Jim Williams is a company agent from Dallas, Texas. He's been with the company for 10 years but has never visited the home office. His son Eddie, ready to begin college, is interested in the insurance field as a career. So this trip is an education for both father and son. The friendly welcome of a company executive is their first contact with the home office, their first experience with the company's open door policy, where executive offices are open to branch managers, agents, and employees at any time. As part of their visit, an extensive tour is arranged to show Jim and Eddie just how the home office serves its people in the field. But first, the company wants Jim and Eddie to learn a little about the vastness of its operation. Jim, of course, knows about his own clients in Dallas, but a set of graphic charts and maps tells him the company's activities extend much farther, serving some 500,000 policyholders in all 48 states and in Canada, Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico. And now the exciting trip behind the scenes begins. They'll see how modern equipment and methods, supervised by experienced insurance people, helps Jim give his clients in Dallas fast, accurate, and thorough service. First stop, the underwriting departments, where specialists analyze and rate applications for automobile, accident and sickness, burglary, liability, workman's compensation, fire and inland marine insurance, as well as fidelity and surety bonds. Standard Accident has pioneered development of many of these insurance lines. With thousands of new policies approved annually, the most modern equipment must be used to keep countless records. Premium and claim payments, personal data on policyholders are tabulated, analyzed, and recorded by these machines. They're an important part of home office operation, for they provide the speed and accuracy necessary for convenient, efficient service to agents and their policyholders. Their complexity is directed by amazing electronic controls, performing accounting and tabulating jobs free of human error. The company's investment records are correlated by modern machines too. At a time when everything in the community is growing at a record pace, Standard Accident uses its premium dollars to help civic and private projects find reality, to help build highways, hospitals, and other facilities vital to communities throughout the country. But the prime responsibility of an insurance company is to its policyholders, especially in the work of the claims department. Since people buy insurance to protect themselves against loss, Standard Accident has, for nearly a century, prided itself on payment of losses through fast, courteous, fair, and honest claims service. Whenever a claim is received from a policyholder or a claimant, the company's full resources are put to work to settle the matter. While all field offices have authority to handle losses, daily conferences at the home office direct prompt and just attention to major cases and coverage problems. Full review is given. Evidence is evaluated in detail by men with many years of claim experience. Besides a thorough knowledge of insurance procedures, each member of the claims conference brings to the conference room the practical experience of having done claims work in the field, a first-hand understanding of insurance and its applications to actual happenings. Full consideration of every claim has kept Standard Accident's record of fair and honest claim handling among the highest in the nation. Its policy is the same for all. Courteous and helpful attention at all times to our claimants and policyholders, agents, and the public. Liberal interpretation of our contracts, fulfilling all our obligations in every case. Prompt, equitable disposition of losses and claims. Much of the company's broad experience is set down in the manuals and guides of the extensive home office library. Being a highly specialized and technical field, insurance demands a wealth of reliable reference material so that underwriters, claims representatives, production people, and service personnel will have a model on which to build the very highest kind of performance. Included in the library is an accident prevention manual, just one of many tools of the company's engineering department. A constant program of instruction helps industrial policyholders keep their accident rate low, with trained company instructors showing workers the right way. Promotion of safe driving habits also helps policyholders guard their safety, and active company participation in activities of the National Safety Council and the underwriters' laboratories helps protect life and property all over America. As Jim and Eddie learn in the men's club room, life at Standard Accident isn't all work. Fun is stressed too, at noontime and after hours. An active sports program headed by a fine baseball team has built quite a reputation in many seasons of league play. Trophies garnered by team members tell a story of real teamwork at play as well as work. Jim and Eddie join in the cheering. A highlight for home office employees every year is a gala company picnic. Executives, clerks, underwriters, stenographers, secretaries Folks from every level of the company bring their families out for a day of fun, taking over an entire amusement park near Detroit. Everything is on the house. Thrilling rides, all the food you can eat, gallons of delicious beverages. The company picks up the check, extending its business attitude of good neighborliness to all its employees. Employees have even formed their own 30-voice choral group. The Standard Singers have become one of Detroit's leading musical organizations, performing at company affairs and at various outside functions. Since Jim and Eddie's tour is a complete one, they even take a look at the well-appointed Women's Lounge, still another part of the fine employee relations program. Almost every day notes an important anniversary for some Standard Accident employee. Loyal service is commemorated by one red rose for every year of employment and presentation of a service button. A happy family spirit is seen in nearly 1/3 of the staff having service records of more than 10 years. In the company-operated cafeteria, the recipe for a healthy, happy day at the office. Lunchtime meals are offered at low cost, prepared under the supervision of a qualified dietitian. More than 57,000 meals are served annually in the cafeteria's home-like atmosphere. The selection is wide, offering nutritious foods to please everyone. Jim and Eddie find that visitors to the home office are as welcome here as they are anywhere else in the building. During the tour, Eddie is impressed to learn that even adults still go to school, but school of a unique kind. New employees and agents learn the fundamentals of the insurance business at this company-conducted school. Some attend classes full-time for 9 weeks, while others divide their time between classes and valuable on-the-job training. The full-time courses prepare the graduate for further practical training in underwriting, claims, sales, or administrative procedures. An efficient staff supervises special correspondence courses for field employees and agents unable to attend home office classes. Education, a continuous job at Standard Accident, is given close attention by top-level executives. At special conferences and regular monthly meetings, a major source of discussion is always management development, the training of future executives and managerial personnel. These men are also interested in developing the full potential of every employee, of helping men and women from file clerks to office managers do their jobs better and with more personal satisfaction. They know that efficiency is the answer to continued good service for the agent and policyholder. A busy and informative day is nearly over. Jim has learned a great deal about his company, and Eddie is more enthusiastic than ever about insurance as a career. In the office of President L.K. Kirk, Jim and Eddie find the same friendly atmosphere they found throughout the home office. Mr. Kirk's interest in both father and son is the same interest the company has in the ideals, hope, and ambitions of every one of its employees and associates. By meeting the people who serve him and his policyholders, Jim understands why standard service satisfies. And Eddie understands why his dad chose insurance as a rewarding way of life. He knows now what a fascinating field it is, how its wide activities make it the 5th largest industry in the nation, how it helps stabilize our American economy. For more than 3/4 of a century, Standard Accident Insurance Company has attracted foresighted men from all over the country to satisfy challenging careers in the ever-growing insurance field.